How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and today I want to talk about a couple of small caps, a few that I haven't talked about in a while. But first, we're going to get into GAXY, and they actually received another award. So that would be the third award, and I just talked about this one the other day. But I did go over GAXY before, so check out the video. I'll leave a link below for that. And it's again for the G2 Secure, which basically allows school or district leaders to lock down the doors, create safe zones for classrooms, and send alerts to emergency personnel and also communicate within and outside the building. It's an absolute honor to win not just one or two, but three awards, said Gary LaCroix, CEO of GAXY. As violence in schools and districts continues to be top of mind for educators, students, and families, G2 Secure remains a critical component for school safety and security. And that was said by the CEO. It was really a rough day for small caps, but this one actually popped like 25%. So that's definitely why this went up so much, and I think it does have room to run more. Although it is a risky stock, and I go over that more in my previous video about risk factors, but this is a very small cap, and once institutionals possibly get into this, it will move the price quite a lot. But I'm personally going to wait and see what it does tomorrow, see if it kind of pulls back a little bit and consolidates before buying in. But it's definitely one to keep on your radar. Some good news keeps coming, and that's a good thing. Next up, I want to get into Workhorse, or WKHS. Now this one has just been continuing to sell off, although today it surprisingly did okay. I'm going to be sticking around until December 28th. I'll be listening to this annual meeting of stockholders. If things are good, and if they're making progress with the recall, if we have some good news with the drones, anything, any positive shred of hope, I will hold this. But if there's just negative after negative with this annual meeting, I might cut my losses at that point. But I am still holding everything I've bought. Haven't sold anything. This one has definitely been a losing stock for me. And there's been a lot of tax loss harvesting likely with this one and just the DOJ investigation. And you'll notice that there's really just no news. I mean, last time they posted something on their site was November 9. Last time they posted anything on Facebook was November 12. So they've definitely just kept very quiet. Yeah, I'm just here patiently waiting to hear anything. You know, like I said, their recalls, making some progress on that, any kind of news like that. It did try to hold those sixes as a support, but then it finally did just break it and continue to sell off. We have had a pretty rough market lately with the variant and just with more tapering, of course. That's definitely not going to help this. And it does seem like we're kind of bottoming out here right at 5. It doesn't want to dip much under 5. So, I mean, it could be a potential good entry point, but I just got to urge you that there's a lot of risk in this, and I would recommend to hear some positive news first. We need to get informed of what's really going on with Workhorse. Everything is hush hush right now with it, and we just need some positive news. But just know that I haven't sold anything, and I'm just going to continue to hold what I have, and it is a small portion of my portfolio, so don't go crazy on this one. It is high risk, and you'll know that if you look through the SEC filings on the page after page after page of risk factors that they have. Now, I am optimistic that this isn't yet a dead horse, and I'm looking forward to December 28th to hear some news about Workhorse here. Next up, I want to get into INDI. I talked about this one a while back. You will notice that this does not like to remain oversold for very long. It quickly gets swiftly bought up, and we will remove this trend line because we've broke it for a second time. But we did have this nice trend going. We broke it. We broke it in the beginning of December when pretty much all the small caps sold off. We bounced really nicely, saw a lot of buying pressure come in. So you do notice here, right under $12, right about $11.90, we find a lot of support here, and it is trying to consolidate. So it's either going to break up past 12, retest the 13s, and hover around here, possibly going over the 200 EMA, or we're going to break down and just fall further, likely down to about $10. But I'm pretty optimistic with INDI. I definitely love this one, and I'm very long term with it. And anytime it dips like this, for me, is a buying opportunity, and a clear one at that. You guys know I'm very bullish on INDI. They've got the team to prove it. And yeah, that's basically it with INDI. If you want to hear more about INDI, I've got a lot of videos that have covered it. Next up is going to be Astra, or ASTR. This is another one that I love under 9, under 10 even, I like to pick it up. And we are reaching somewhat of a base here, right around 850, trying to double bottom. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We might have a little bit of a positive day. The RSI is pointing up, and the volume has been kicking in a little bit. I think it's in a great zone with very little risk, and be aware that there is a catalyst coming up here in January for Cape Canaveral, and there's definitely going to be hype leading up into it. But you will see it likes to double bottom or W a lot. And I see it where it is at a very low risk area to enter if you don't currently have any shares. And we are at somewhat of a support here. We've had this as a support. We did break it mid-October, but we'll see if this support holds. If not, we could likely come down to about $8 even, but I love picking it up here and I will continue to do so. And next up, we're going to get into VOLTA or VLTA. This is another one I like at its current price, and I've continued to pick it up. Now, if you're going to swing trade this, I would look to see if this is going to break this level it's at right now, because it is somewhat of a support. But if we do break it, we could likely come down to the low 8s. So just keep an eye out for this one. Although I do expect this one to start turning around very soon. It is approaching oversold on the RSI, but it does like to hover down there for a while. I'm excited to buy Volta anytime it's dipping down, and it does look like the MACD is curling. We are in that oversold territory. And yeah, I mean, anywhere under $10, to be honest, I'm long term with this. If you're going to be more patient, you could wait for it to pull back a little bit more. But be wary that if it does pull back, it will likely pull back down to the low 8s. So you could keep an eye on this one for the low 8s. Otherwise, potentially buy it now and set a stop loss right under about 880. And if it pulls back under there, it'll likely pull back further. But I'm going to be playing this as a long term. You could always play it short term. I'm even thinking about buying some calls for this one. If it can drop back a little bit more, I'll buy some 2022 calls. But that's basically all I got for you guys. Just a quick update on a couple of stocks here, a couple of small caps that have just been continuing to get beaten down. I'm in the market to buy right now, so for me, that's all right. Your risk tolerance may be different. You might want to look for more solid value plays, more blue chips, things of that nature, but I am more risk averse, so I do like picking up a lot of these small caps. But your results may vary, and it depends on your risk factors. But thanks as always, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I do put out videos every single day, and I will see you guys next time.